That's a different world. The bonding part. So he brought us. I'm just doing an email anyhow, but it's not really back. Alright, I'm gonna stay up here.
So when you start broadcasting, do you also have to go and
Yeah.
your page?
Yeah. It's a whole process.
I go ahead and broadcast my sunset out at the lake one time. I just did a big camera instead.
They get pretty out there.
Get a hard rain. Oh, yeah.
I went by yesterday, I'm still
It's not that you, that's your day You're not covering.
It's really nice
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call.
Hawk,
Here.
Eddie,
Here.
Schneider,
Here.
Stevens, here, Scott,
Here.
Suter,
Here.
Garrett. 6 aldermen present, 1 absent.
Consent agenda items, approval of minutes of previous meetings, payroll, disbursements, and the treasurer's reports.
Make a motion to approve consent agenda items.
Second. Any questions or discussion? Roll call vote.
Hawk,
Yes.
Eddie,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Stevens, yes, Scott,
Yes.
Suter,
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays.
We have a celebrity in our midst here, Reggie Benton, who is going to present for Benton Associates.
I've been called a lot of things, but never a celebrity. I do appreciate the chance to present. Ben Spring sends his best, but he's not able to be here tonight, so you get me as the super sub. The first agenda item that under us is our supporting of Kirby on behalf of Pana to submit for the street project that we've submitted previously, you've submitted previously. I think you talked about it a little bit before, but just as a reminder, the basic parameters are there's $400 million available for local roads projects. And the plan is to submit on Pana's behalf for 2500 East Road. It's going to probably, by the time it gets escalated, it'll be close to a $4 million total project. The funding says it's 100%, so that's what we'll be applying for, and we're really just assisting Kirby in this effort. It's a multi-phase application process, so the first application's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. We will just be providing an engineer's cost estimate and assisting her with some of the IDOT terminology and meaning of some of the questions. And that's part of why it says initiate phase 1 services, because that should be a plus on the application, meaning that we've done the cost estimate, we can start the environmental clearances process, and that's a half a hurdle ahead of maybe somebody who's just decided they want to do this. So it's no financial commitment to the city of Pana at this time. It's a long-standing need that's been identified and applied for previously. We'll be applying for the 5,600 feet of roadway improvement and associated drainage improvements that are necessary, and we'll make every effort to keep it on existing right-of-ways so that we don't have that extra hurdle during the grant discussion process. And any questions on that before I move to a couple other quick updates? The wastewater treatment plant construction, they've started out there, they've put up the fence. It's going to be 2 to 3 weeks before the excavation subcontractor is able to get there. They have regular pay progress meetings where they have a meeting between city officials, mainly city staff, our people, and the contractors' people, and it's the first Monday of each month so that it can then be brought to council for whatever action might be. Before the council meeting started, we have reached out to the City Hall roofing company that provided a 20-year warranty. That roof was completed in 2022, so we're going to be going through that process, and we'll keep Greg Holthouse involved with Greg Gillis from our office to IDOT June 13th letting, and several projects are still waiting on the Illinois EPA to put out their draft intended use plan. This is where they would potentially provide low interest loan and principal forgiveness, another fancy word for grants, towards that effort. And then that's most of it. Any questions? Thank you.
Thanks, Reggie. We don't have anything. Do we? Thank you, go ahead. Nothing from Seth tonight, from Juan Grunlow, so we'll go to Steve.
Okay. A few items this evening. The first one being the second presentation of an ordinance regarding tobacco products. You recall this raises the age from 18 to 21 in compliance with state statute.
Make a motion to pass the ordinance. Second.
Any questions? Okay, roll call vote.
Eddie?
Yes.
Schneider?
Yes.
Stevens?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
Suter?
Yes.
Pop?
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays. That's ordinance number 2021.
Okay, the next item is first presentation of an ordinance amending the city code by designating authorized depositories. You recall, council approved an investment policy a few meetings back and has since then made some adjustments and adopted some other policies. Part of that is includes designating depositories that the treasurer can place city funds, and this is first reading this evening.
Make a motion on first reading.
Second. Any discussion or questions? Okay, roll call.
Schneider,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Suter,
Yes.
Hawk,
Yes.
Eddie,
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays for first presentation.
The third item is first presentation of an ordinance establishing speed limits on certain streets. This came, I believe, from committee, and after some correspondence with Mr. Eddy and Chief Bland, I think we now have the streets properly named.
Yes.
First reading.
Need a motion?
We bypass first reading.
Sure. Want to make that motion?
What motion?
Motion to bypass first reading.
Did somebody already do the motion on the first?
It can be worded.
I didn't hear it, so let's go with that.
I'd like to make a motion to bypass first reading.
Second.
Pass on the second.
Okay, roll call.
Stevens,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Suter,
Yes.
Hawk,
Yes.
Eddie,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays. That's ordinance number 2022.
Next item is a first reading on presentation of a municipal tree ordinance.
Ordinance looks good, but exhibit A is garbage. I'd like to have a first reading of it, but excuse the exhibit part.
I have a note that we had first reading on April 28th and then tabled it to the next meeting.
This exhibit,
I think,
It's crazy.
yeah, I think there were questions about Exhibit A last time, and
yeah, it
I don't
hasn't
know
really
if
changed.
staff had discussions on modifying it or not.
I have a few comments. So one of the items that was changed was section 2026-9C, which changed the wording to read, the city shall have the goal of having a certified arborist on staff. One of the other things that was changed under section 26-13 was changing the size of the tree board from 7 to 2 members. Those members will be city staff. Some of the other things that came out of the discussion was the certified arborist requirement. The certified arborist requirement is really kind of broad. It just means that we have to follow certain guidelines, and the certified arborist, it can be a one-time thing, meaning, which I think with the planting of trees, they've already guided the city on how to plant trees, so we've met that qualification. For removal of trees and pruning of trees, again, they can come on site one time, and then we've met that qualification. The other things we can do is have one of our city staff be an arborist. There is a class that they can attend to become a certified arborist. It's an online test. I believe it costs like $200. Is that right, Kirby?
Mm-hmm.
There are also annual seminars that they can go to. It's about $25 a person. And since they are being guided at that seminar by an arborist, then we have also met that qualification. Am I correct in
Yes.
that wording?
So basically, how it was explained to us was that a certified arborist does not have to be on site anytime that a tree project is conducted on city property. It's basically stating that, say, the first time that, we go out, we have the city go out to identify an ash tree that needs to be removed that's on city property on a boulevard, say. The first time that we have a certified arborist come and just kind of, not even necessarily talk about the exact example that's in front of us, but just gives Chris, Nathan, and the street department guys just kind of guidelines on what it is to look for future ones, so they don't have have a certified arborist on site for every single individual tree-related project on city property. He voiced that several times. He's like, he said, this ordinance is meant to help your community. It's not meant to be a financial burden on your community. So he did really want to make that clear to us, that that does not have to occur every time. It could occur one time, and that's it.
And one of the things he also mentioned is utilizing a certified arborist is just ensuring that the arborist is contributing to the performance of work in some way. They do not have to be there for every job, they don't have to oversee it, they are not doing the work. It's just giving the city guidance, and like I said, it's a one time, once and done. Once they've overseen it, then we are good, for the rest of it. And then as far as the tree permit application, the permit applications are designed only if, for instance, you have a resident that has a tree on the boulevard, it's perfectly healthy, there's nothing wrong with it, but they still want it removed. If that's the case, then they do have to fill out a permit application. If it's city initiated because a tree is damaged or presents some sort of danger and the city decides that the tree is coming down, that tree permit application, does not apply at all.
When you read all through this exhibit A, it's,
I kind of agree with Exhibit A on some of this. Smaller trees on the boulevard.
but you had, right now, how it's always been, somebody that has a tree on the boulevard calls the alderman go out and look at it,
Yep.
and then we write a work order, it takes both aldermen to sign it. This here,
That
this
will
is
still-
gonna make a
that will still
nightmare
stay.
for
It
the
still has
alderman,
to be that way.
but doesn't really say that.
But
You
if
have to
they
have
want
a
to,
certified-
if there's another tree that needs to be planted, they have to take that through boulevard agreement or, which it also states in another part, appendix B, where you take trees out, you remove a 4 to 8 inch tree, you're supposed to replace one tree with it. This is, take a 20 inch or bigger, you're supposed to plant 5 trees. So I don't see how that could happen on our boulevard.
Yeah.
If you keep reading in that exhibit, it states that if it's not feasible.
Yes,
or we don't agree-
yeah, I mean,
Obviously, if we cut down a 20 or 30 inch tree, there is gonna be no really room on the boulevard, most likely. I mean, I'm just saying, it states.
you don't have to put 5 in there, you can put
No.
1 or 2 back in.
Correct,
Yes. I was just making a point that that's kind of a,
yeah.
I don't like to see it being a lot of problems for us.
Do we have a motion for first reading?
Well, it's already had first reading.
No,
Last-
what's second reading? What do you want to do?
You passed it, I don't mind it at all, I'm going to vote for it.
I wanna just make the claim too, I mean, we're nearing kind of the end of our project term limit for this grant application, so, I mean, there's almost $19,000 in grant funds for this project that's already been performed. So if there are issues, I would like to have a discussion so we can get it all hashed out and
when's it due?
well, the actual work itself has to be done by July.
So this ordinance has to be
The
done by
ord-
July?
The ordinance has to be done by the end of July, yes. Mhm.
If we're talking about it now, figure it out. It's not, like, just pass it and move on. It'll be fine.
I will
think I
just
can-
say,
yeah.
with the discussions that Kirby and I had with Ryan from Morton Arboretum, I mean, I feel very comfortable with everything that he said. It is not a hindrance on the city in any way.
I was just going to say the exact same thing she said. I mean, I left that conversation feeling very confident that this ordinance is designed to protect the city of Pana and the trees that are on city property. I don't foresee any financial burden in the pipeline for us by approving this ordinance. If that's what the concern is, I don't see it.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion. Oh, second.
All right,
This is
this is for passing. Okay, roll call vote.
Scott,
No.
Suter,
Yes.
Pop,
Yes.
Eddie,
Yes.
Schneider,
No.
Stevens,
No.
Mayor Pastor.
Yes.
I have, 4 ayes, 3 nays, ordinance 2023.
Oh, this is the first.
This is the pass.
Apparently, we already had a first reading and then it was tabled. Is that correct, Steve?
Well, according to my notes, that's correct.
Okay.
So it's back to the first reading.
It passed.
Well, it's a qualified, so this is more.
Takes 5 votes to pass.
Yeah. Okay, so it failed.
So it fails, it'll have to be reintroduced.
Okay, next.
The next item is a resolution approving a business district redevelopment agreement with Hair Razors.
Make a motion to pass that resolution. Second. Roll call vote?
Suter,
Yes.
Pop,
Yes.
Eddie,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays. That is, resolution number 2531.
The next item is a resolution approving a subdivision plan for Hubbard's Addition. This was located out at 51 and. Yep.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Discussion.
Any discussion? Anybody got a question? Okay, roll call.
Pop,
Yes.
Eddie,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Suter,
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays. That's resolution number 25-32.
And the last item is referring an application to the zoning board regarding the rezoning of property from R1 and C1 to I1 located at 307 South Chestnut Street. And planning and zoning would hold a public hearing on the application, take testimony, and then bring back a recommendation to city council for action.
Make a motion to refer to Planning and Zoning Commission.
Second.
Questions?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's that road, the old Coons concrete place. Have anybody noticed how many, I call them garbage or junk trucks, and that they got all lined up? And then also the drainage that is coming down off of that onto Walnut Street, it's like a yellowish.
I don't think that's from home trucks, so I think that's from before, wasn't it?
Sulfur from the coal mines, that's been like that
Coal mine,
since we were kids.
They're not that bad.
The discussion at hand is to send this to planning and zoning. If there are issues that you want to discuss about the property and zone, that can come up at another time. But yeah, I mean, so I have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Eddie,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yeah.
Stevens,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Suter,
Yes.
Pop,
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays. Six, yeah. Yes,
Great.
0. That's throwing me off, missing one.
The ordinance where we have a series of fines for people with vacant buildings. Last year resulted in the city owning the Presbyterian church by the library. And while we had that lift rented and going between the two schools, we went up in the lift and looked at the roof, which wasn't as bad as I thought it would. I'm sorry, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. So, but it's pretty moist inside there during the rainy season. And the choir loft is shot, it's gone. And so we got just a couple estimates, one for the roof, putting a new roof on, tearing off the old one, putting a new roof on. And then one for fixing the brick parapet that sticks up above the roof, because the way they roofed it, it has started tearing up that brick wall. And, so it would be roughly $120,000 to make that thing watertight again. And then the very rough drive-by estimate of demolition is $195,000. So, that's just an FYI, there's no voting about that, we don't haven't advertised for bids. But one thing I would ask, it's not in the business district or the TIF district. And I think we have another place somewhere like that that's, I don't know. Anyhow, I know at one point we extended the business district into the lake in order to pay for the TIF district that we wanted to create the lake. I don't know what that costs. Whoever does that or thinks about it or whatever committee addresses that may think about extending the business district around a couple problem areas. And we're getting ready to take possession of 2 old elementary schools. Maybe they should be in some district that we can, do whatever work we gotta do in there with a little less financial burden. So I don't know who wants to look into it. I'm just kind of bringing it up. But we will be tearing down that church if we don't look after it. That's why we were finding the previous owner, and now we're doing that, so.
How much did we pay for the church?
Nothing.
Okay. So now we're in something old.
It's how it is uptown. When it falls down, we take it to the landfill and pay that bill. So that's why if we can, we get a thing before it's too bad and we put a roof on.
Is there anybody looking at that building?
Yeah, some interest in it.
We've had people walk through it, but nobody nibbling even.
No.
Yeah, I mean, we run them through there, Butch. We don't try to guess what they want. We make them look at everything. If we have it, we make them look at it. So,
I think people see the vision for it. I think that they like the concepts that we discussed with them. But I don't think that they're actively planning on anything for that right away.
other than these 2 parts that needs fixed, there's like 3 windows that need,
Still.
the top.
The lintel.
Yes, the lintel, and then, we need to get the water to stop running in the back door. So, other than that, it's put together very well and would last a long time if we take care of those few things. Anyhow, I'm just bringing that up, and whatever committee wants to attack this, I will gladly help.
It's better to be proactive than reactive.
But I don't know the rules of rebounding the business district. But I think we did it before, and I think the 2 schools could have potential, at least especially Lincoln, of becoming a commercial property, so just something to look at.
Okay, Gertie?
Yeah, I wanna, revert back to the IDOT funding opportunity that Reggie was talking about. Yes, we are planning to move forward in applying for that funding opportunity for the 2500 road project, but municipalities are able to submit multiple applications for various projects. So I got word the other day that the city of Pana was not awarded for the ITAP program that we applied for through IDOT, which was for new sidewalks downtown. So I just wanted to let you all know that I intended on submitting another application to that IDOT funding opportunity for the downtown sidewalks as well.
No cost on that one either.
Correct. Same funding program, so same budget set, same terms apply. If anybody has any questions about that, but we just found out last week that the city of Pana was not awarded the ITEP grant application, so, or grant award, sorry.
If you look at a map of where all of the ITEP grants are awarded, it is a very telling picture. Right around the top of Illinois, in a certain area that everybody knows, and then the
That's
rest,
where government's from.
down in a certain area where there's an arch over the river. That's
That
where
way the government can say, money went down southern Illinois.
in the central, where we're at, dry as well, every year. But we'll continue to apply and keep trying.
And it's a 2-year grant cycle, so it's 2 years before you can resubmit for ITEP funding, not the funding that she mentioned.
Right.
So hopefully, you know, since this had, you know, this grant opportunity through IDOT has more money allocated towards it, hopefully we can get, both would be great, but one would be just fine as well. So thought we might as well put our name in twice, so.
Absolutely. Okay, Kim?
The only thing I have is next week, Mattoon YMCA will be here training our lifeguards at the pool. We're shooting for an opening date of June 7th. I want to thank Brian, Chris, and Kent for getting it all ready for this year. It's always a fun time.
The unsung heroes. Tanya?
August starts this, 2nd of June.
It's always exciting.
Yes.
I have 3 items, well, 4. Chris asked me to make an acknowledgement of Kate Moon for donating mulch to the tree replacement that we talked about earlier the last meeting. I also have a motion to have an emergency replacement of northern doors of the movie theater, which were busted, in the amount of $5,169.36, and this was done by At Your Service at the time. The second one is I need an approval from, to create an additional Class P liquor license for impulse gaming at 2517 Illinois Route 16 with a fee of $5,000. Does anybody have any questions for the gentleman who is here regarding this topic? Okay. Can I get a motion?
Nobody wants to know.
I would just like to make a comment, that is there a way, like if they got approval, that we could limit the amount of gaming, alcohol type of things, because it's just adding yet another addiction to the city.
No, there is
The only thing that we can limit is the alcohol, right?
You can, yes, you can
Well,
limit.
you have that. The gaming comes from the state.
Gaming comes from the state, and in order to get a state gaming license, you have to have a local liquor license, yes. But as I stated before, to everybody here, there is no reason to deny this liquor license for this business. This is not a gaming parlor, this is an establishment, a retail space. We have allowed gaming for every other business in this community, okay? We have.
I'll make a motion.
When do you stop it, though?
You don't-
What do you do?
You don't stop it.
You have to stop it.
No, you
Your
don't.
town will disintegrate.
That is not true.
It is true.
No, that's a myth.
Come on, it's not a myth, it's just
This is
human
a free-
nature.
This is a free market economy.
You know, it's,
Yes,
yeah,
it
it's a
is.
free market economy, but you can't let society,
Yes, we can. We are not the morality
oh,
police.
yes, you
No,
are.
we are not. This is not.
Then what
government
are
is not
you?
the morality
Then what is
police.
government?
The government leads. We
The
lead by.
government what?
We
Is
lead.
it a cash cow for somebody?
It's not a cash.
That's what it
cow.
sounds like.
No, it is not.
You can't,
I have a first.
you have to be moral in some sense.
This is not.
Well, you know what? The Lakeland Hotel needs a brothel. You know how much money they can get out of a brothel? Quite a bit.
It's not the same. And it's not.
Well,
legal.
we'll pass an ordinance that it's legal in Pana only.
We can't do that.
Well, we can try.
That's not reality, but.
I mean, where does it stop?
Hey, it's not time to address the council.
Yeah, we're-
It's
we're
not
moving-
time to what?
Address the council.
We're moving on.
Okay.
With the topic. We have a motion.
I'll make a motion to allow.
Do we have a second? Again, There is no reason to deny this permit. This is a formality.
I'll second
Second. Now take it to a vote.
Schneider,
it. Yeah.
Stevens,
No,
Scott,
No.
Suter,
No.
Hawk,
Yes.
Eddie.
No.
I have, 4 nays, 2 ayes, failed.
I sincerely apologize to you for the embarrassment of this council. And if you want, I can bring it back every week until we change our mind.
We might take another route.
I would take that route, sir.
We'll take another route.
Now, what's this going to do is this is going to open the city of Pana to a legal dispute because you're denying the man for no reason. So be prepared for that with legal fees and counsel for him ultimately to get what he's asking for. Keep that in mind for your vote. Now we'll move on to the next topic. Community safety. Committee assignments. They have to approve those two. Okay. I need approval for the committee assignments.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Community safety. Great, thank you, we recorded it. Nothing? All right, committee operations.
Okay, motion approved, no size lot for Charles Wolfer at 833. It went to the planning and zoning commission and came back to the council with a recommendation.
second,
Any discussion on this? Roll call vote.
Stevens,
yes,
Scott,
Yes.
Suter,
Yes.
Eddie, Hawk,
Yes.
Eddie,
Yes.
Schneider.
Yeah.
6 ayes, 0 nays.
Motion approved, an oversized lake lot at D13, double fees apply at transfer.
second,
Any discussion or questions? Roll call vote.
Scott,
Yes.
Suter,
Yes.
Hawk,
Yes.
Eddie,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yeah.
Stevens,
yes,
6 ayes, 0 nays.
To make a motion to approve an invoice from Active Service Roofing for downspouts and gutters at Roseland Theater, amount of $4,800.
second,
So is that what we did vote on? At the
You
first
want to-
meeting?
So it was approved through committee, it came through, the administration committee, they reviewed it, they approved it when the motion was made in the, next council meeting. The motion was for the $99,000 and odd,
The roof.
amount for the roof. The 4,800 was not mentioned, so we need to get it approved to make it official.
The committee approved it for the council, and they didn't bring it up.
So I have-
Thank you. Just a second. Roll call vote.
Suter,
Yes.
Hawk,
Yes.
Eddie,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yeah.
Stevens,
yes,
Scott,
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays.
Anything else? Administration?
We covered it underneath operations, had both positions for temporary.
Committee of support? Economic development? Negotiations, nothing. Unfinished business, nothing. New business, a boulevard agreement for Bill and Sisk at 211 South State Street.
The motion approved that.
Second.
Any discussion or questions? Roll call vote.
Hawk,
Yes.
Eddie,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Stevens,
yes,
Scott,
Yes.
Suter,
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays.
Citizens' opportunity to address the council. Gary?
Yeah, I'm Gary Henigman, I live at 30 Coot Lane. With the new committee assignments, I'm curious if Pana Lake still has representation on the operations?
Lake is a ward, it's part of Ward 2, it has representation.
Thank you.
There's nothing further. I need a motion to go into closed session. Oh, yes, sir.
I just have a question. My name's Dustin Allen with Impulse Gaming. My question is for Alderman Scott.
Okay?
The last time we talked, you voted against this, right?
Yes.
The last time we talked, you had said if we changed it back to a P for the $5,000 fee, you would support it. I just want to know what changed.
Well, there was a, did you want to know?
All right, bringing this up. Ordinances, got a hold of some information about how the license that you carry in Taylorville was dealt with, and I had our chief of police get a hold of chief of police from Taylorville and to get some information on what had transpired over there. And the license over there had been suspended, had several citations. The police department over there said it was an ongoing issue. The Illinois Liquor Commission had issues. And, you know, after, the more I investigated this, the more I found out. And at the last committee meeting we had, which was operations, and we was doing administrative duties also, we went through it, we couldn't come to agreement on it. And I asked you in that meeting how you was gonna deal with that, because when you walk, to go where this room is at, you walk in the front door, you have the vaping shop and that, and then you have a little walkway, you go in there, like a 10 by 10 room. And when I started finding out all the different complaints and issues that you had over there, I had concern. I asked you how you was gonna deal with that. You said you were gonna have a locked, refrigerator in there. You'd have your employee unlock it, sell them the alcohol or whatever. You weren't for sure how you was gonna do it. And I personally went out there the day of the last council meeting with the zoning officer, and we took a tour of your place. And I asked your employees at the time how they were gonna deal with this. They didn't know. And even you at the last committee meeting said they would have to be trained, and it was like a work in progress on how it would be. Then after finding out all the complaints and investigating it, because all the years I've been up here, I investigate everything. When I come to this council meeting, I know what I'm talking about. And I investigated it. Mr. Suter, he got the information also, and after I found the information, how that was set up, it scared me that if you have those kind of issues in Taylorville, we're looking to have issues here. That's what you asked me, and that's why I voted no.
And we did discuss issues, and I did say that they haven't been trained yet because we weren't gonna invest in training until we got the liquor license. Because why would we train them to deal with liquor if they don't have to deal with liquor? And as far as violations, I'm assuming you're talking about the liquor store in Taylorville, because they did sell to an underager and they got a 30-day suspension from the city.
Yeah.
Nothing from the state. The state didn't find anything or anything. Beyond that, I wasn't involved, so I don't know. But I just wanted to know what changed your mind.
We investigated, because
No, you answered.
had information come to me, and like everything, I investigated it.
Okay, so Payne has never had any liquor establishment sell to an underager.
You've always had issues in that.
There you go.
No,
We've always had issues. You said it yourself. We've always had issues.
What's one more? But
That's all I want to know. Thank you.
ten more.
I'll need a motion to go into closed session.
I already made the motion.
Did you? Need a second? Okay.
Yeah.
The reason is for,
Yeah, I got it to like, I think the highest I've seen it was 15 today.
Betty? Schneider? Stevens? Scott?
Yes.
Suter?
Yes.
Pop? 6 yeas, 0 nays.